Hey guys, welcome back. This is Martin with Drone Buzz, and I am doing I had a little crash with my little practice drone here. Since the props are all beat up on this thing. So are the motors. I'm actually ordered new motors because I don't know if you can see here. Which one is the bad one? There's like they all vibrate so much that the camera lens comes loose mid-flight. Not fun. So I got new motors for it, but I don't know if you can see. But I'll spin this one. Let's see if it'll focus on this. You can see, yeah, you can see there, but anyway, you can see how they wobble. And then, but I had a minor crash, and then the video quit. Well, a minor crash. I hit a wall, so I guess it's not minor. But the video quit, and so I'm wondering. I don't have a multimeter right now, or a test light or anything. That's kind of out of work. So I'm thinking that I did some soldering on my VTX board, put in the wires on it. So I'm thinking that maybe that's what happened last time. One of them got knocked loose. So I'm going to take this apart and see if there's something in there and one of the wires got loose on that VTX board. So first I'm going to pop off the antenna right there, and then I'm going to start undoing all the different pieces. Then, I'm charging batteries for it too, so you're gonna hear the beeping. Should be a couple more beeps and it'll be done. Perfect. So this is a toothpick, 3-inch toothpick. What's it called? Twig XL, 3-inch. That's what this one is. And it's oh yeah, right there. I just found it. 2 wires broke right off the main board, so now I gotta take the whole board apart. Oh, wonderful. Alright, well, let's do that then. So I'm gonna take out this guy first, because I want to resolder those wires properly. They're a bit, I don't like the way I did them last time. So I got this bit here, and then I need, let's see what I need. Let's try these ones here. No, that's not good. I'm gonna need something like this, I think. That's perfect. Okay. So, interesting part is take this off and then unplug the camera. Or maybe, you know what I should do? First thing I should do is take the props off. Just because I'm gonna have to replace them anyways, and it's easier to work without the props on. So. Just got myself an electric screwdriver. I love this thing. I should have got that a long time ago. Saves a lot of time. These things are so hard to get off. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to remove. Where is my thing here? I'm gonna see if I can do it without taking out the motors, but I'm gonna have to probably remove 2 of them just to kind of flip the board over. So I'm gonna take the tape off without damaging the motor wires. There's a few good hits. I got the, it's like fraying open right here. So that's done, perfect. I'm gonna undo, I think, these 2 motors and then do the board. Yes, that's gonna be ready soon. So I found that on these little things, the VTX, like, because I fried one already, so I replaced it with an original one. Like I got the one from Better Flight because it fits there best, but I found they break down very easily. A few hits and then I do not like it. If I can undo this guy here. Oh yes, yes. Perfect. So it's gonna be the ones for the board. Perfect. Oops. Goes here and then one more. And one more here. Perfect. Nice. So now this board should come out. Unless I forgot something, but it doesn't look like it. Let's try. There, it came out. And then we're gonna take these motors and then remove the plastic I used there. The tape. Perfect. There's gonna be a little garbage pile in the corner. Perfect. I fixed that quite many times. I had to replace a few motors already. I had to replace the FC on it. And then the VTX too. Perfect. So now, if we flip that over, yeah, now we can see everything. Wow. All the wires are breaking. I guess it's time to do some resoldering. Oh yeah, so I was gonna take this guy out. So let me change this tip to this. Perfect. I'll go there. So when this guy comes out, I'm gonna unplug. So in there, where the camera is, tucked right in there. Really hard to see, but the connection is right in there. So you sneak in from the side, or wherever you can really, and pop it out without ripping the wires out. There. Perfect. So now the camera is in there still. I got the antenna zip tied and taped. But that antenna I always like to fly off. I don't know if you guys had the same scenario with oh wow. Something loose in the antenna. That's what the microphone is. Yeah. So let's fix this thing. So this is good. This guy right here is have to redo, and then definitely gotta redo this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up, because I don't remember how it goes together, but you can still read some of the stuff in there. And you're thinking, what's all this dirt? Well, I usually fly outside, but in the winter here in Canada, I'll fly inside and in a shop, and it gets really dirty really fast, that thing. So here, let me get some rubbing alcohol and some Q-tips. Okay, I forgot the Q-tips. I'll be right back. Alright, got some Q-tips. So now it's time to do some cleaning. So I don't know if you can see here, but it's pretty dirty. You can't really see much in there. And the zoom is not finding it. So right there. So here's where we got to solder. So I'm going to see what it says 5 volts in ground and all this, and resolder that on there. Perfect. So we can see 5 volt ground, and then TX 5 or 6, one of them. So let's get the soldering iron on, get a little bit of flux, and then resolder this stuff together. wonder if I have to redo these ones. So put a little bit of flux on this, and then we're gonna put a little bit of solder on here. Perfect. Now here comes the fun part. Soldering this back on with the board that's moving all the time. Perfect. Okay, that worked. Now let's see here what we've got. So we're gonna do ground and 5 volt. Okay, perfect. Let's do the 5 volt and then the ground. So I stripped the wires with my fingers. I guess I could use a wire stripper, but sometimes I find it faster this way, especially for like the silicone-like wires. All right. Perfect. I'm gonna do the black one. And the ground. Perfect. Maybe I can resolder the old ones, see if they'll get them not to break so fast. Because I got a bunch of solder on my iron. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so one thing I gotta do is clean that tip quickly. Is that, I know it's hard to tell, but those wires here, they're all bent over because when I soldered it, I had them come out of the board that way. And it turns out when it's in the drum, the wires gotta go this way. So I'm gonna reposition all these wires to face the proper way. But first, I'm gonna have to clean them because they're pretty dirty. Perfect. So this one's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna use the clipper thingies for that one. Just to hold it for me because that's gonna be a bit tricky to solder. Perfect. Hopefully it's gonna keep it where I want it. Oh, I think one of my things just broke. I'm gonna have to fix that too. I wonder if I can just put solder in there. Well, for now, I'm gonna do just to finish fixing this, and then I have to look after it. Perfect. So now here's gonna need the fun part. Alright, let's put some flux on here, just a little bit. Okay, let's see how I can do this without making a mess. Can I make this guys lower? That'd be awesome. So this guy's gonna have to go. Now I have to flip it over. That's gonna be interesting. Maybe I have to do it this way. And then I have it come this way, just so I can flip it around. Oh, this is gonna be very interesting. Let's see. Go this way. It's gonna be, oh, I see why it's all flimsy. Well, I'm gonna have to turn off this off for now because the power is running out. Hey guys, well, welcome back. So the battery died in my camera, and so I didn't get to finish recording the me fixing the wires for the VTX. But I had to make them longer because when I went to put the canopy back on, it was too short. I couldn't put it back on, so I extended them, and then it flew for a bit, and then I crashed it a bunch of times, and then but now these motors are shaking so bad that I have to change them because they're not round anymore, and I had to put crazy glue on the lens ring lock thing there because it would literally come on. Doesn't matter how tight I got, I would use actual pliers to put it tight on there, and it would come loose every time. So it didn't come loose this time, but it still shakes really bad. Like when in the camera, when you punch it, everything was blurry. So I'm gonna change the motor. So the motors I got from Airblade UAV, they are the Superman. Who doesn't like Superman? And they're the 443850. I was trying to match whatever is on there, and then it's very close. So that's 1404 3800, and those are 1404 3850. Just a little extra kilovolt, a little bit more efficiency, I guess. So that's what I'm gonna put on this guy. So here, let me take this apart and then get it good to go. Right, that prop is no bueno. So it's going into the garbage. So some of this prop I can reuse, like this one's totally fine, that one, that's still good. It's a practice squad, so I straighten the props and I keep flying. I noticed that when I use a screwdriver to spin those little screws off, even they are bent, they're wobbly. This thing's getting beat up. There we go. So yeah, this one's a bit bent. This one need to transform them all together. I don't even know if you can see. I was trying to show it last time, but it's hard to see. But anyway, so it's bent. So I'm gonna undo the canopy, undo the motors, unsolder them, and then solder the new ones on. Oh. Oh, well, one of the, oops, there. So nut came loose in there, that's not good. Probably off the FC. So let's get this thing here. Perfect. Oh, I know why, because I took off the wrong bolt. Ha! Guess I have to put this one back on when I'm done. The one I took out here, I'm gonna have to go back. It's really long, so that's off the FC flight controller. Yeah, right here. Took out the wrong one, so I have to put it back in. But I'm gonna have to undo this first. Now I'm gonna, oh yeah, I have to pop the antenna off. Where is the? I just have my tweezers here, and I don't know where I put them. Oh. Put them back in the drawer. Perfect. And this poor camera plug, I've unplugged it so many times, and it still works. Perfect. I have to change this. I don't know, put it next to the microphone. That's coming from inside this antenna here. Then, I'm gonna start undoing the rest. And I'm gonna have to undo the flight controller anyways, just to get to the little motor pads there. So to do that, I use my little socket style right here. It makes it a lot faster and easier. And I gotta undo all the motors. So one thing I noticed about these motors, hopefully they fit, because what I noticed when I open one is that, as you can see, there's one that's narrow and one that's wide, so hopefully it fits, or else I'm gonna have to only use 2 screws instead of 4. I guess we're about to find out. And then my Immortal T antenna used to be longer, but with the crashes it kind of got trimmed, but still works, so not gonna replace it yet. Perfect. So now this should all come up, and I just flip over the flight controller. Perfect. Now I have access to my solder. So this way these ones work is that they go through the board. This is the way I set it up last time. But I think next time I'm just gonna make it simpler, because this is annoying to replace every time like that. But I'm actually gonna add this one back on here. Oops. The one thing about motors is that they magnetize everything, so here we are with the nut stuck on there. Perfect. So now perfect. So I got the heat going, and I'm going to slowly pluck the old motors out, put the new ones on, and solder them on. I got this thing here. I'm going to put a bit of flux on there just to make things a little easier. Oops, I guess I should leave that on. Perfect. And let's see if it's going to be easy or hard. I might have to attach them to the board somewhere, but we'll find out. Let's see if that's enough heat. Yeah, that worked. Awesome. Perfect. So I'm going to put the fan on, because this smoke is getting into my face and I don't like it. Let's see. Put this here. Put that there. Perfect. Let's go right here. There. Let's try this. It's a lot of plugs in one outlet, so it's gonna be noisy. Oh, much better. Perfect. Okay, so the motors are out. I'm gonna put that in my bins of. I have a bin full of piston motors. I don't know why I keep them. And I'm gonna put this back on there. And then, oh, look at that. There's a wire off the Betaflight Nano, not Betaflight, Team Blackship Nano RX that came loose. So I am going to fix that also. Perfect. I don't remember doing this. Okay, I'm gonna pop the antenna off of this one too. Perfect. So doesn't look like there's much solder in there. But let's just quickly fix it since we're here. Perfect. Make sure this thing is still on. Oh, I didn't put any flux on there. A little bit of flux on the wire. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm gonna put this guy through. So I don't remember why I put them through the hole here, but I did. So I guess we'll have to do it again. Except this time I'm gonna add more solder on there. Okay, I'm gonna have to mount this somewhere because I don't have 3 hands, so I'm gonna use this just to hold it for me. Perfect. Alright, so now I'm gonna push this on the back of it. That's me. Just orientate it so I can actually see it. Aha, perfect. Oh no, I didn't let it set. Yeah. Perfect. So now I think I'm going to add a bit more solder on this side because it has very little solder on these things. But first I have to clean it up because it's pretty dirty. So I'll be using a little bit of alcohol and some Q-tips. I'll be back for the Q-tips. There we go. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add more solder on there, but I'm gonna hold the wires in the back just so they don't fall out. Where is my... So let's just rotate this like this. So I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna clean the tip first. Perfect. So I'm gonna start with the black one. I'm just gonna hold it in there and then add more solder. Perfect. And I'm gonna do that for the red one. Perfect. Oh no! So I popped the yellow one out again. I'm gonna have to redo the yellow. But then it's done after that, it's good. Hold on. The temperature is dropping on this iron for some reason. It's not working, so I am going to solder it on top. Put a little bit more solder on there. This looks a bit better. There we go. So now I'm going to put a shrink wrap on there. And I have some right here. There, that's some clear shrimp rack. So we're gonna have to use something like this. Perfect. And then proper length. Perfect. Now we're gonna hook up the antenna. Oh no, let's put this on first. just so it's done. Hook up the antenna and then shrink it. There we go. There we go. Because when this is on, like this, we want it perfect. And now do a little bit of shrinking. Perfect. So that's done, that's done, that's done. These ones are good. Let's just inspect the back. See how these motor things are. And then it looks pretty good. Okay, this one doesn't want to play nice. Oh, this one not good. There we go. And I'm going to tighten up again. Perfect. So now time for the new motors. Let's see how this is gonna go on there. Yeah, they all line up. The good news is they all line up right in there. So I can reuse all the screws is good. So I'm going to fast forward the next part, just so you don't just stare at motors being screwed on. Okay, so what I do here is once they're tight, I'm going to tighten them a bit more by hand. But I don't go too crazy because I don't want to strip them either. Those are small motors, small screws. Cool, one's done. That's perfect. Now I'm going to put a bit of shrink wrap to keep it together here, make it look good. Time for the next motor. Oh, this one came with screws. How come the last one didn't come with screws? Oh, it did. Ha. Perfect. I like spare screws. So let me just adjust some of the lights just so I can see a little better. There we go. It looks a bit brighter. So I'm gonna have to drop my camera doing. Yeah, that's working. Perfect. And just so it's not too bright. Okay, 2 motors on there, that's cool. With the red and the blue. And then I have to have some matching props for that. I like the gold on the back. Perfect. So now, let's try to get it right there. We go. So now it's time to add the motors. So there's all these motor wires everywhere. So I'm gonna shrink wrap them and then solder them. So the shrink wrap, I gotta pick the right length. So I got this shrink wrap. Hopefully it's the right size. Oh yeah, that should work. Now I gotta make sure all the wires remain the same throughout the shrink wrap. Perfect. One thing I like to do, it doesn't always work, is to put it over this one, but this one's kind of small, so I don't think it's gonna work. Actually, this is a bit too long, so I'm gonna cut it shorter. I'm gonna go to here. So I'm gonna make it so it goes from here to about here, so I've got enough room to mess with the wires. So cut it in half, really. Fold it in half and cut it there. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to shrink wrap that. That'll be good. All right, one done. That's not too bad. Perfect. Now I'm gonna zip tie them, and I've got zip ties right here. Some small zip ties, just so it's easier to solder, and there's something holding them in place. So this one's facing this way, so I have this one face the same way. All right, make sure everything's good here, good there, and good there, perfect. Now there's a big wiring mess here, so we're gonna trim these wires to line up with the pads. So didn't give myself much room, but I think it'll work. So first I'm gonna prep the pad and then trim and solder. Okay, I'm gonna let this warm up. This I don't know how to turn off the automatic turn off with this. It's a bit annoying, but we'll wait a little bit and then put these guys in place. Let's see here, and we are almost there. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the fan. And it's time to prep these wires and cut them. Where is this guy right here? So now I want the first one to just wrap around into here. Perfect. Trim the end. So I have to get an actual pair of wire strippers. I'll back on this one. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of solder on there. Perfect. I'm going to rewire it to the board. Perfect. Put that there. All right, I get a little bit more solder, just so it holds in there better. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the same with the next wire. Right, let's see if we can make it match the shape of the other one. Oh, and we can. Okay, put extra solder in there. And then put this guy on there. And then put a little bit extra solder. Just to... There we go. Now we're gonna do the last one. So far so good, I think, for the soldering right in there. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna put a bit more solder on there. Perfect. I like the last one. I think it's alright. It's not perfect, but it'll work. So now, on to the next one. Alright, so far so good. So this one's a bit close together, but these ones are good. So hopefully it's good. I'm tempted to redo these ones to make them better. So gotta keep going and then I'll see at the end. So now this has to go over to this side. This has to go to this side. Perfect. Alright, all the motors are sorted in. So now we're gonna plug it in for a quick test. Make sure everything is good. Let's see here. I think I have. I thought I had an extra one of these, but what I'm gonna do is do a quick test. Let's see if everything's good. Alright, so far so good. Now I'm going to do better flight test. Make sure they're all spinning the way we wanted to spin them. But before we do that, I'm just going to clean some of the cracks off. Very nice. So it's time to hook it up to Betaflight, test out motors, make sure they are good to go. So where's the plug? Oh yeah, I forgot the plug is on this side. Okay, I have to pop this guy up a little bit. See if I can get the plug in there. Perfect. All right, so I figured out the BID32, and then I want to add music to this. So I'm gonna try that next, see how that works, and then go from there. So maybe I could do it right now. So let me figure out which song I want and then put it on there. Hold on. Okay guys, I did it. I figured out how this did the sound. It took forever, that's why I didn't record it, because I had to fast forward everything. But when you plug it in, let's see if I can get it next to the microphone so you can hear it. Let's see. Hold on. That's pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. So perfect. I'm going to finish putting this together and then I'm going to start flying again. Let me make sure I got this lined up here. Perfect. This is good. This is going to go in here. It's going to go in here. Okay. So now time to put all the pieces back together. I'm going to change the tip to, I'm not sure what size that is actually, 4.0, whatever that is. Perfect. Okay, don't go too tight, but tight enough. This corner is always tricky. There we go. Because the battery leads are there. Awesome. Okay, that's that. Now I'm gonna hook this guy back up. So if you guys are the Twig XL, you know the fun of hooking up the camera and then sliding this in after the fact. So I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna use my tweezers. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. Oh, no. Keeps popping out. There, okay, stay there, stay there. There we go. Now we're just gonna slide this guy in. Perfect. So I'm gonna change the tip. So this one takes, everything is all this nuts and bolts except for this little guy. It takes screws, tiny screws. Like this. Oops. Oh, there we go. Let's try it again. Perfect. Okay. All right. Perfect. Connect this antenna back on. Perfect. Now we're gonna make sure everything is tucked in when we put it in there. Okay, let's have a look. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Now let's add this guy here. Change that tip again. Perfect. Alright. It looks like that little drone is back in order, except point the camera a little bit better here. Okay, my camera is a bit... I'll try to leave it at 45. This one's a bit more, so let's see if we can loosen it off. Something is jamming in. Oh, it's the... There we go. So the TBS Nano is jamming up my camera, so I can't change the angle. Let's see if I can shift it a little bit over here. Okay, or I have to pop this guy off again. See why. So this guy's got to stay flat. That's key. So I'm going to adjust my camera first before I put it in. Perfect. Let's make sure it's at 45. Perfect. And now we're going to make sure this guy stays flat. Oops. There we go. And make sure no wires are being pinched, because that's not good either. So there we go. Now we're good. This wire is not pinched, not pinched. I'm gonna put this screw back in. Awesome. And my last screw, which, oh, still in there. Huh. Oh no. I went backwards. Perfect. All right, now we're good. Quick test, make sure everything works good. Yeah. Now we gotta get some props. So, I kind of like the color of the motors, so for the first flight, I think I might just put clear props so we can see the actual motors better, and then I keep this one as a spare. This one goes here. Okay, let me see if I got more clear ones. Aha, it's my last set of clear ones. And I got blue ones. So this one goes in this way. This one goes in this way. Perfect. So that'll be my bag of spare props. There we go. I'm gonna double check my props. This way, that way, that way. Perfect. I'm gonna tuck that in there. Perfecto. Alright, this little quad is ready. So I'm gonna take it for a quick spin and see how it flies with the new motors. See, it shouldn't vibrate anymore. So I'm pretty happy how it turned out. Got my little shrink wrap here. My wires that go in there good. So it looks clean-ish on the outside, even though I've got my ugly thing here. Hey guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video I did with replacing the motors on my little toothpick here. I'm going to try to put out videos, well that's what I'm doing, I'm putting out videos every Monday, and it's got to do with drone stuff. So it could be something I did that was fun to capture, it could be a how-to video on how to do something, or it could be me fixing another drone, since I have to fix them quite a bit, especially when you push them hard. This one, as you can see, the props are already different from the video I recorded because I did fly it. It flies way better with no bend bells on the rotors, on the motors. So it does, like the camera doesn't vibrate loose anymore because it was that bad, and it flies so much better. As you can see already, the props are already smashed, but then I also got the camera took a nasty hit, but it's not affecting the field of view. When I put the goggles on, you don't see any of that, so I'm not going to change it yet, because that is my practice drone, so I usually tend to fly it until I have to change something on it. But yeah, I got these Gen Fan props. They're called indestructible. They are not indestructible, I've broken a few, but they are a lot more flexible. So the good thing is that if you're bashing around All you gotta do is straighten a prop and keep flying. You end up changing less props per session. But because they're flexible, I found that sometimes they bend to a point that they don't bend back to normal. And it's easy to know if you have a bent prop. Your camera will be vibrating like crazy. Everything goes blurry every time you do a pinch out. So what I do is I straighten them as best as I can to fly, and then when it gets too unbearable, then I change them. But so yeah, so that was it. It's a video of me changing the motors and also changing the sound they make, which is really cool. And this thing flies great. So it looks better on the outside since I tucked in the wires a bit better. And yeah, so I hope you like what you saw today. Do comment if you have any questions on the below. And then if there's anything you have any questions on, if you learn anything or you want me to talk about anything that you have questions about, I can make another video. And then do subscribe so you can get all my new videos I put out. And then I do put out short videos or shorts that YouTube does now. I do some of those too. So those I don't have a regular schedule. Usually I post them when I film something cool. I plug the phone and post something. Or if it's like a cool edit and there's a small clip that's really cool, then I would put that on a short. So, but yeah, so thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you guys next Monday.